Good morning everybody, welcome to another video and welcome to the lovely River Wye, as you can see behind me. I've come down today with a friend of mine called Nick, who you can probably see over there. So I might just set it up. I've come down today, well, when we decided to come we weren't sure what we were going to do, we weren't sure what the weather was going to be. Being that it's near the end of February, we thought it was going to be cold. It's gone warm and it's gone cold again. The last few days, last couple of nights we've had proper frosts. The river is low and pretty clear, as I'm sure you can see down there. At least 3 foot of visibility. So I think today it's going to be some trotting. Chub being the targets, I think. But lots and lots of baits with me today, just in case. Did think perhaps we could do a bit of ledgering for barbel, but I don't think that's going to be on the cards, to be honest. I think it's probably too cold. We perhaps could sit it out and try and get a bite, but perhaps we'll try and do that at dusk. I don't know. We'll see how the day goes. But I think primarily, yeah, we're going to do some trotting with chub as the targets. Our main attack is going to be bread. I've got my pouch full of mashed bread on my side here. And I'm going to fish bread flake on the hook. Now, I've made a video of how I mash this stuff up. I do get asked fairly regularly about how I mash up bread. And I do have different consistencies depending on whether I'm trotting or whether I'm going to use it on the bottom in a feeder or perhaps balling it in. So I'll link you up to a video up there on the new channel that will explain fully how I wet this down. Right, gear for the day. Quickly run you through that. Again, my trotting setup is explained fully on the new channel. Again, I'll link you up there to the new channel. You're going to have a look at exactly how I set this up. But suffice to say, it's a Daiwa Tournament Pro 15-foot rod, Drake alloy stem stick float, and on there I've got my Daiwa 125M. Yes, we're going to have a move about, I think, unless we drop on some fish, any particular good swims. We're going to have a go at this run here first. There's a bit of a bottleneck. We're on the outside of the bend, so the flow is under our feet. A bit of a slack over there, a bit of a run through the middle, just seems nice to me. Nick's going to drop in just down below me there. He's just on in his waders. He's braver than me. It's really cold. So I'm going to run down this top bit. Nick's going to run down the next bit down there. We're going to give it an hour, see if we get any bites. If we don't, we'll perhaps have a move. Going to go right up the top. Both get our waders on, wade out. Trot, there's a bit of a gully at the top. We could do a bit in the middle where it's a bit deeper. Just try and find a fish, really. That's the story. That's the plan for the day. I think that's enough waffle in it. Let's get on with it. So, first trot through, always exciting. I've never fished this swim before. I've got no idea of depth. I'm assuming it's 5 or 6 foot. As I say, the river is very low at the moment. Very low, very clear. Hopefully we can have a few chub out. But we'll just get deeper and deeper, I think, until we're dragging under. Nothing really to go on this stretch. Which is why we're planning a bit of a day of exploring. Hey, brilliant. Means there's some chub here. Yeah, I thought I had a bite the previous run. Get my gear out of the way. Blimey, he's pulling. They're all queuing up down there. Is it? Oh, he's in again. There's an advantage being downstream, isn't it? Yeah, it's about 3.5, isn't it? Nice fish, that is.
Lovely.
Well, mate.
Thank you. Thanks for feeding them up.
Cracking.
Yeah.
Well, glad we started here. Brilliant. Chub seems to be sat just downstream from Nick. So they might move up to me. If not, I can have a move. What I did say to him, get in below me. Because he's done it for 3 days. It's been hard going. So I said, go downstream. You'd be better off down there and pick up on the feed I'm putting in and what he's putting in, so it's great. He's deserved that, because I think the last 2 days he's had 1 trout and 1 chub, decent one, almost 5, but yeah, great that he's having a few fish. Definitely earned it over the last few days. Brilliant. Well guys, I'm going to go for a move, because there's nothing going in this run that I'm fishing at all. So I think I'm going to go and see if I can find a spot and leapfrog past Nick, just down that way. See what we can find. Right, I've had another move, as you can see. This time we've come upstream. Nick's just sort of round that corner there. I went a bit below him, as you've just seen, and it shallowed up very quickly. I'd gone from fishing in about 7 foot of water to 4 foot, and I'm still tripping under. So I deft that out fairly quickly. Thought I'd come to this swim here. We're on the outside of a bend, so the flow is on this side. So hopefully I could perhaps winkle a few chub out from here. Well, you've got the whole stretch to go at. I don't believe there's anyone else on here today, so that's good. So yeah, I'll give it an hour in here. Then perhaps have another move. If we're not doing any good, we'll perhaps have another move upstream. I bought all sorts of everything with me, as I mentioned at the beginning. I've actually even bought a couple of pike rods. I'm planning on getting off to that big pike I saw. I'm doing a bit of pike fishing down the Avon. You probably saw in the last video. Chased a chub in I was playing. It was a proper croc. It was 3 foot long. Proper one. Well, that's gone through without tripping under at all. So that's a good sign. All right, is that a bite? I think it might be. Yay, blimey, way up. Finally, long way down. But we're in. Yeah, long old way down. God, just giving line at the moment. It's heading for the inside, so we know what he is. Can't let him get in there though. I don't think there's anything for him to get in there too. Cool, this is staying deep. Feels a decent fish. Can be deceptive, can't they? But you can see about how long I've been playing him, how far down the run I had him. I've been running all the line off my reel. I've got about 75 metres on here, I'd say, something like that. He's not even that big. He's a reasonable fish though. Certainly rather catch him than not. I think he quite realises that he's here. Oh, he's a decent fish. Nice. Much longer than he looked. Fab. Got him. Wonderful. Well, we'll give him a minute. Well, there we are. That's about that. A very long fish. Wonderful colour as well. Beautiful. Beautiful fish. Fantastic. So guys, bit of an update. It's about 10:30. 10:15, 10:30, something like that. We just had a little bit of a walk to the top of the stretch, a sort of shallower area. There's a bit of a gully, a bit of a beach up there. With the water being so low, you can actually get out on the beach. But I don't know a lot about this stretch. From what I do know, speaking to the bailiff one of the times I was here before, in the summer, fishing much further upstream in the water that was more oxygenated, is common wisdom is that area is more for the summer, and this down the bottom here where it's deeper is better in the winter. But Nick had another chub from that swim, and then he said it went a bit quiet, so he's gone for a wander. It's a bit like me, he gets itchy feet, and you want to try all the swims if you're not bagging up in one anyway. So he's gone for a bit of a wander upstream. Well, we both did, just to check it out, and it's certainly fishable. So he's going to go and give that an hour. So I thought I'd give this a bit longer in here, as we had a fish, but it's not particularly prolific. I don't expect to catch lots of fish in here, that's for sure. But we'll give it a bit longer. It's a nice place to stand and do a bit of trotting. That first swim he went in did seem a cracker. It might be worth persevering down there, I should say. So guys, I've dropped back into this swim that we started in. I was just kind of passing it really. Gone away to another swim, and I thought, oh, it's worth dropping into there just for a few minutes. Can sometimes be a really good ploy is to give swims a rest, go back to them, give it a rest, go back to it again. So we'll have perhaps 15-20 minutes in here. A little crack. I just heard from Nick, who said he's God, they're on this bread. Said he's just lost one upstream where he's gone. So clearly there are a few fish up there. We don't know how big it was. He said he just bumped it off. So they're feeding any, which is great news. Hopefully we can have a few more. Just like the look of this run. But it is similar to this upstream, so I do seem to want to be in the slightly deeper water, clearly. Slightly faster, deeper water. Not really surprising as it is so low. I mean, we're not far off rock bottom summer levels. That was a bite. Oh, definitely a bite. So little pace on this water. There we go. There we go. Fab. Great stuff. A 3 runs through, I think, and 2 bites. Just shows you that just rest to swim up. Don't pay to just hammer it all the time. Obviously it helps as well with Nick not being there, because when we're both feeding, the fish that are moving upstream are obviously encountering his bait first. Feel a bad fish. Not beasting me, but a decent scrap. My landing net sorted. I have for once. Crack it. I say no monster, but You're very welcome, chap. Fab. That's wonderful. What an absolutely beautifully conditioned fish. It's absolutely like a wood carving. Wonderful. We'll get him back, make sure he stays that way. There we go. Fab. Another one, cracking. Oh, in time for the sunshine. Just plodding out to the middle of the river. It's usually a good sign. God, feels a nice fish. There he is. Come on, chap. Oh, it's a nice one. Fab. Oh, yes, he's a nice fish. He's been having a feast on all this bread. He's coughing up lots of bread. Quick look at him. How's about that? Fantastic. Beautiful fish. Wonderful stuff. Definitely shallows up down there. That's just about where I went when I leapfrogged below Nick. So I can tell pretty much exactly where it shallows up. Just before that big tree you can probably see on the near bank. It shallows up there. It can often be a cracking place for chub where the water shallows. You often get plenty of bites where the water just shallows up. I noticed that on the Y. There's lots of rocky outcrops on the Y, create very shallow water, but just before that, just as it slopes up, often find lots of chub. It's like that up there. It's like that in here. Lots of places I've fished. You do find that. If you're on the Y and you look for some chub, find a run that starts to shallow up. It's a good place to start. Your float will keep getting dragged under as the bottom shallows up, and then sooner or later one of them will be a bite. Or several of them will be bites. Nick's actually just found it. We were talking about this a bit earlier. He's just found it. He's just had one just where it shallows up. I keep sort of having a little go in here, resting up, having a go. Nick's had another fish upstream, so I might have a go up there in a bit. Might wander off up there. He's sort of right at the top of the stretch, probably about half a mile away. There's clearly some fish up there, so that's good news. With it being so sedate, I think these slightly quicker swims, they've got a bit of depth to them. Probably our best bet today, and it's looking like that. So I fancied having a try in this one this morning, first off, and it's done, what, 4 or 5 fish now between us in this little run. Just shows you as well, I don't know, I wasn't getting any bites up here when Nick was below me, but now he's not. The fish are moving up with the feed. Great that Nick's having a few fish as well. I say he's had a tricky couple of days, so I'm really pleased for him. Well, I thought that was the bottom. I just really slowly dragged under. Oh, blimey, he's off. Really, really slowly dragged under. He's just off. I can't do anything with this. He's going. Wow. I was convinced that was the bottom. Absolutely convinced. We had the bottom there. He's just off. I haven't gained any line on him yet, but he's took plenty. I think we're going to get a bit back now. Head shake. Well, I think we've won back what he took off us. He's gone out in the middle of the river as well, which is a good sign. Usually the bigger chub head for deeper water rather than the edge. Not always, but a general rule. So that is a good sign. Staying very deep as well. I haven't even seen the float yet. He's right down here. Not far out at all. There's a landing net there. Well, that was an epic scrap, however big he is. Yeah, he looks like a nice fish. I think we knew that. No monster. Certainly a lovely one. Oh yeah, he's a nice fish. Got some depth to him. Come on. Oh, it's only just nicked in there. Get in there. That was lucky. I only just nicked him. God, he's a nice fish. That's a 4, definitely. These fish are all really lively, which is cracking. That's why they're putting up such good scraps. Lovely fish. I'd say definitely a 4, good 4 as well. How's about that? That's why I got the net here. If he flips, that's cracking fish. Absolutely wonderful. There we go. Oh, blimey. Well, we're in. It's right in that place where the float goes under a lot due to the bottom, but we're in. As I'm sure you can hear the drones up. Which is a happy coincidence. It's just starting to rain, which is not great. With that in the air. Doesn't feel huge, but certainly glad to catch it. I have some bites now. I'm just, every time I have a fish, I'm just resting it for 10 minutes or so as not to hammer it. It seems to be working quite well. I'm having lots and lots of bites, which is good. This feels another reasonable fish. It's no monster. It feels a reasonable fish. Still got a lump of bread on his nose. God. Putting up some pressure in that flow. Let's see if we can get him in. Come on, fella. In you come. Wonderful. Cracking. Rather slimmer than the other ones we've been catching, but still a beautiful fish. Cracking. I love chub. Absolutely love chub. Yeah. Yeah, I know, that was a bit of a... There you go. There you go. You were right. First trot down. Your dad had a go at that before, hadn't he, I think. I don't know if you saw that. If you saw that, guys, it wasn't far down the run, but the float just dipped a couple of times. It was like first run down for after resting the swim, and Nick just said, "Oh, what was that?" And then, but down it went. Oh, wonderful. See what I mean about it? They've come right up as well. They've come right up on this feed. Oh, cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Ah, you're right. God, big old mouth. Fab. There we go, guys. Another cracking fish. Resting this swim up's definitely working. I'm giving it sort of 10 minutes rest, and then first or second run through, I'm getting a bite straight away. So, yeah, wonderful. Another cracking fish. I've eased off on the feed a bit as well, just because I seem to be here and I'm sort of looking out for it now, so I'm not feeding as much as I was.
It's a lovely rod. You said there's a cheaper version of this, isn't this? This is the Tournament Pro.
Yeah, they do a connoisseur,
Yeah, I've seen that.
which I know 3 people who've bought one, and they all love it.
Yeah.
They all love them.
When it goes with the chub, it goes.
Yep.
Yep.
Well done, mate. Great stuff. Oh, don't worry, you'll be all right. I've got a decent line on there. Got that 021 on.
Very good.
Nice one, mate. Oh, he's heading off the other side of the river.
Feels like a good fish, actually.
It does, yeah. I would say it is, judging by the fact that it's heading off over there.
Yeah.
Just over there somewhere.
It's right over the south side.
Yeah. Brilliant. Great stuff. Might be a bit previous, but you're not a million miles away, are we? God, these rocks are slippy.
Check out this side now. I don't think
Yeah.
it's given up yet, but
No, he hasn't, has he?
there's no monster.
Oh, it's fish though.
Working well. We've got in the current, you know, got head down.
Got him. Nice one, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much.
There we go. He's been in the walls as well. Look. His fin's gone.
Out the way.
Oh, cheers, mate. Finn's had a bit of a chew. Do you want a photo or anything?
No, it's alright.
Yeah. Long, really long fish again.
The one I got yesterday was long and thick. Lovely, thank you very much.
No worries, mate. Didn't take long, did it? Yeah. Well, that was nice. Nick came down to see me, and I said, "Yeah, I'll have a go with this rod. You've not used this one before, have you?" He said, "No, I hear you talking about it in the videos all the time." And then second run through, he had a chub on it. So great stuff. I seem to have every duck within about a 3 mile radius in the swim. Filtering off all the bread that doesn't sink very quickly. This just seems to be working nicely at the moment. I'm catching a fish, giving it 5 or 10 minutes of feeding without running the float through, and then running it through, getting a bite first or second run through. Just seems to be giving them that rest. Even if it's for, I'd say, 5 or 10 minutes, it's just enough. just to get them to feed again confidently before you pick another one off. There we go. Yeah, we had to go a long way down to get a bite this time. Definitely time to rest up the swim. Cracking. This feels like another good fish. Heading out into open water. Just a big heavy weight. Not doing a lot. Set the compulsory little head shake. Still not seen it. There's a lot of glare on this water. There he is. Definitely need a long landing net handle when you've got a 15-foot rod. Gotcha. Cracking. Well, how's about that? Wonderful. That's what a chub should look like, isn't it? Fantastic. Very angry as well. Put those fins up. Wonderful stuff. Yes, definitely I think time to rest this swim up a little bit. We'll give it half an hour. Going to have something to eat. And then we'll get back to it, I think. But yeah, it's been cracking. It's this cycle of resting, feeding, resting, feeding does seem to be working well. Right, we're back. We've had 20 minutes, best part of half an hour off. Been sat having some lunch, but continuing to feed the swim. Hopefully we can not fall off this rock. Hopefully we can have a few more chub out. So I do fancy a move at some point, but if I keep catching, then obviously it will probably be a bit silly to move. We'll see how we get on. I can't imagine, as I mentioned earlier, I can't imagine we're just going to catch all day from this swim. Even if we do keep resting things. That's gone under. Yeah, there we go. Cool, blimey. It's off. Goes straight to the top. It's a big splosh on the top, and now it's off across the river. Wonderful. Cool. Take a few minutes to get this in. It was quite a long way down. It feels a reasonable fish again. Stamp of fish in here is wonderful. Not caught anything under £3 today. That feels a good couple of thumps there. Well, this is cracking. Absolutely wonderful. This feels another good fish. Got some weight to him. It's not fighting particularly doggedly. It's certainly got some weight to him. Got another couple of thumps there. Wow. Keeping deep as well. Come on. Quick in there. Get him in before he quite realises where he is. Big white mouth. Oh, it's another nice fish, that's why he felt heavy. God, that's a nice one. Might even be biggest one of the day. Perhaps. Wonderful. Cracking. Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest one of the day. Well, he's a nice fish. He's not 5, I don't think, but he's not a million miles away. Put the scales on that one, see exactly where he goes. Well, certainly not far off 5. £4.12. It's about that. Wonderful. What a cracking fish. Absolutely fantastic. They're getting bigger as well. Brilliant. Oh, I'm having a wonderful time. Let's get you back, fella. Well, I'll have a couple of more runs through, I think. And then we'll rest it up again. Perhaps fishing it for 10 minutes and resting it up for a good 10 minutes, really. That's what I'm trying to do anyway, but hard to resist putting the float through again sometimes. There we go. And again, he's off. Charging off. Right down the bottom of the swim again. God, looks like another good fish. Blimey. It's gone. He's heading for those trees over there, which we cannot let him get into, obviously. Oh, he's really trying. I've got to put the brakes on him. Oh, now we've got another big tree coming down, which we need to avoid with a line. Oh, we're making a bit of line on him. He's still right over there, then. If we're not careful, he's going to get into that next snag. He's really trying to do. He's in there. Oh, hook's pulled. I had to try and stop him getting in that tree, and he made it. Oh, that's frustrating. I knew exactly what he was trying to do. Very annoying. Felt a decent fish that did as well. It took me right over there into that tree. He headed for that one further down, and he took me right across there into that big snag there and done me in the snags. Ah, that was a decent fish, that was. Alright, a bit of rain. Let's put all the non-waterproof stuff away. Ooh, you're joking me. can't believe it. Literally, I put my rod down because it's just started to rain. I put my rod down. Crazy. Just so I could grab my bits that aren't waterproof and put them in my waterproof bag. I put it down, floats at the end of the run. I put my rod down on the floor and you probably saw it went sliding across the floor. Well, this one's heading for the opposite side again. Cool. He's certainly putting a bend in the rod. Yeah, and he's heading over there as well. Trying to get towards those trees. Come on. God, this feels a good fish. Just hanging. God, what's going on? Give me a proper beating, this one. God, that's a proper one. It's Nick just waving goodbye to me. Oh, that is crazy. Wonderful. There we are, another cracking fish. Wonderful stuff. He's like a block of ice, but absolutely fantastic. Really pleased with that. I mashed up 3.5 loaves before I came, and I reckon I'm about 2.5 loaves in, so we've not done too bad. This is that Neville's from Tesco that I use for mashing up, and it's 39p a loaf, so it's, you know, for about £1 so far in freebies, and I've done about half a loaf of hook bait, which is a lot more expensive. I use the Warburton's orange, which is about £1.50, I think. They seem to be getting a lot of bites further down. No, they were sort of pulling up the swim a bit to intercept this bread, but they seem to have sort of decided they don't want to anymore. Don't know whether it's disturbance I'm making, perhaps, or not sure what. I'm trying not to make too much disturbance. But of course, wherever I hook a fish, I've got to bring it back past any others that are feeding in the swim. So that obviously doesn't help. If there are any closer up, I guess it spooks them. It's the advantage of just resting the swim. I mean, it's been obvious today that every time it's been rested, I had bites straight away. So guys, half an hour left before curfew. Wonder if we can have another fish out. It's gone very quiet since that last couple of fish, 2 fish in 2 runs, and it's gone very quiet since then. That was about 15 minutes ago. Be nice to say I'll rest it again. It possibly would be a good idea, but when you've only got half an hour left, you just want to trot. There we go. Just went down in that place. It always goes down. Just waited for the tip of the rod to go round. If it doesn't, it's the bottom. If it does, it's a fish. This is certainly a fish. Whoa. God, it feels another good one. Making a beeline for the opposite bank. Certainly know where those trees are on that other side. Oh, another quality chub. Fab. Oh. Well, I can tell I've had a cracking day. My arm's aching. Right, try have a quick look at him before he goes back. Again, another lovely fish, probably pushing £4. Perhaps not quite. A cracking fish. About that. Yeah, about 3.5 I'd say. Oh, he doesn't want to have his photo taken. We won't stress him out. "15 minutes left. Can we winkle out another one?" Getting progressively further down the swim though. They clearly know something's going on, although they're still obviously enjoying this mashed bread. That one right down the bottom of the swim, it just shallows up. I was just holding it back hard, trying to run it as far as I could, knowing that it was going to shallow up. The float just pulled under. I just thought I'd leave it for a minute. I just held it back to try and get it to pop over, and I could get it to skip over, and then in the end it wouldn't come back up. So I leave it for a minute, and then whack, the tip of the rod went right. There we go. Same again. Just held it down the bottom there. Just held it up down the bottom there. The float had gone under due to the bottom, and I was just hanging on to it, holding back. I couldn't, as I say, I couldn't see the float because it had already gone under, because we'd shallowed right up, and then just give it a few seconds and the tip thumped over. Cracking. Again, another dogged fight. It's cracking just picking them off down there. Right down the bottom of the run. As I say, it's just holding that float back. God. Blimey, we've been hauling some chub today. Wow. Well, I'm pretty sure this gets us off 13, so that's good. Coming in, then suddenly decide to change their mind. This one suddenly feels about £2 heavier than it did a minute ago. What a cracking session. Absolutely love this time of day. Always a nice fish. One look at the net changes his mind. Fab. God, he's another good 4-pounder. Fantastic. Well, another absolutely cracking fish. Possibly the last. Tempted to call it a day with that one, but we've got 5 minutes or so left before curfew. Might get another one, you never know. Well, I'm going to call it a day there. That's been an absolutely fantastic day in the end. Glad I came back to this swim. It's been great, and I know Nick had, I think he had 9 chub in the end. He caught plenty up there, so he's had a cracking day to finish off his 3-day session down here on the Y. And as I say, I've had a cracking day. I think I'm on number 14 now. It's been absolutely fantastic for February, but us chub can't resist that mashed bread. Now, given that we're just over 2 weeks to the end of the season, I'm going to be getting out as much as I possibly can. I'm not sure I'll be down here on the Y again before the end of the season, but we'll just have to play that by ear, see what the weather's like, see what the rain does, see if we get any rain, see if we get any mild weather. We'll just have to play that by ear, but I'm going to be getting out on the Avon and perhaps some of the local tributaries of the Avon. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed that half as much as I did. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling. Many thanks to the channel patrons for your fantastic support, and I'll see you all again very soon.